Is July the 12th, 2000 and something, 17. And we're going to answer a few more questions here. Busy day. Had a debate today on YouTube. I don't know if it's posted yet or not. It'll be on this channel. Just the audio, though. They didn't videotape it. And I have another one Friday. And well, I got all my announcements somewhere, and I threw that note away. Anyway, I was on last night's broadcast about 5 debates total in the next 10 days. That was one we did today. So we're going to take questions that have been sent to us, and let's pray first. Lord, thank you for loving us. Thank you for letting us be part of your family. Please guide us, Lord. Help us to please you with everything we do now. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, we may already have a buyer for the bulldozer. We'll find out, not bulldozer, for the dune buggy. We'll find out tomorrow. So that looks, yay, just in time to pay off the new website. So God's providing right on time. Rather than redo my creation seminar, which I've threatened to do for 10 years, I decided I'm going to do the same material, but greatly expand it on steroids. I'm going to renumber everything, and instead of 18 hours, it's probably going to be 30 when we're done. And we'll just keep the old seminar for those who want other languages or want that material, which we still have here, and everybody loves it. We've had many people that get saved watching that, and testimonies. Secretary handed me a stack of testimony letters this morning, or this afternoon when I was in Monroeville, and man, it's changing lives all over. So we're going to redo the whole thing and start from ground zero, and going to be a lot of new material. I've been editing all day working on that, except for the debate I did. So keep an eye out for that. We'll announce when that's ready to go. Going to be at least twice as long as the old one. Chase every rabbit, kick every dog, turn over every stone. Okay, here we go. A couple of testimonies here. This is from Shahid. I'm thirsty to know about Jesus and always study about always study about Jesus' life. I have one more question. When we see majority of our Christian brothers believe Jesus was born on December 25th, if you read carefully, when Jesus celebrated dedication of the temple, it was winter that time, Jerusalem covered with snow, and Bethlehem also. Can't they say it's impossible Jesus' birth on 25? We can learn carefully. Jesus was born in month of Nisan. I have lots of research on it, but some issues to solve. Roman Emperor's history, Jewish historian, Jewish calendar, Dead Sea Scroll, and Bible also indicate Jesus' birth on Nisan. It's lambing season. I hope answer soon as possible. Thanks, Shahid. Shahid, you're correct. Jesus was not born on December 25th. Here's what happened. The earth goes around the sun. And the earth is round, and it does turn, and it does go around the sun. The sun does geocentric. We won't get into all that. Now, because the earth is tilted over at a 23.5 degree angle, anytime you buy a globe, you'll get it tilted over at an angle. You can see the base of it here. Here's why. I can't hold all this at once. Let me turn this back here. There. Okay. This is 23.5 degree angle that the globe is tilted over, because while the earth is spinning, it is going around the sun, which means at some point it is tilted as far, say this is the sun here, it's tilted away from the sun, and the people in the southern hemisphere are getting their summertime, and we're getting our wintertime up here. 6 months later, the sun would be here, and we're turning under the sun, and we are getting our summertime, and they're getting their wintertime, because simple, as the angle, 23.5 degrees, aims basically toward the North Star. It is so far away that our little 16 light minute orbit around the sun is insignificant. It's like me looking at Pensacola from here with the telescope and then walking around my desk and saying, oh, I don't see any difference. Well, yeah, you won't. Some of the flat earthers say, well, we can't be spinning and tilted 23.5 degrees because we'd see that it wouldn't keep pointing at the North Star. You're completely missing the point about the great distances and angles here. We're talking, the Earth's orbit is 16 light minutes. The closest star is 4.5 light years, which is like, I tell people, if I had two guys on the roof of my house, 16 inches apart, looking at a dot in Chicago, and they're trying to calculate the distance to that dot, and all they know is how far out of parallel they are. I think from here to Chicago, you're not going to get much distance out of parallel with two guys 16 inches apart. I don't think it's measurable, but that's 100 light years. And they're telling me they can measure, billions of light years. I have a hard time believing that. They use different methods, and we can cover all that some other time. But December 21st is now the shortest day of the year. That is the day when we are exactly tilted away from the sun on December 21st. After that, it's December 22nd. We start to, if the Earth isn't moving, but it appears to move in relation to the sun, because of the tilt as it goes around. Who cares? Well, December 25th used to be the shortest day of the year. And for lots of complicated reasons, it is slowly changing, and now it is December 21st. Who cares? Well, some of the so-called Christians, probably the Catholics, wanted to Christianize some of the pagans and turn them into Catholics. And so these pagans celebrated December 21st, or December 25th, as the shortest day of the year. The priests would tell the people, they would lie to the people and say, oh, the sun is going down. If you don't bring some sacrifices, bring your money, give me your new Rolls Royce, then I'm going to, if you do give enough money, then I'll pray that the sun will come back up in the sky. It was going to come back up anyway, okay? But the dumb pagans would go ahead and give their money and their oldest daughter, whatever they wanted, and then they would pray their hocus pocus, aliokus, you know, and dominoes, dominoes, checkers, and chess. My father plays dominoes better than your father, and whatever they would do. And then, sure enough, the next day, the day's a little longer, and gradually the sun comes back up. Oh, wow, the priest saved the day. It was all a bunch of sheer baloney. It was going to happen anyway. But that used to be on December 25th, was the shortest day. And so they decided to say that's when Jesus was born, which is pure baloney. We don't know when he was born, but we know it was not December 25th, like you said, probably the month Nisan, lambing season. Excellent point. Thank you, Shahid, for that question. But I agree with you. I don't know when he was born. I don't think anybody does, but it certainly was not December 25th. Okay. But by the same token, Christians have a lot of pagan holidays that we worship, that we celebrate. I don't know that it's worth fighting all those battles. Somebody called me and was really mad about, you know, celebrating Christmas, or I said, hold it. What day of the week is it? He said, Thursday. I said, it's what? Thursday. What is Thursday named after? I don't know. Well, you better look it up, because all the days of the week are named after pagan gods. Sunday, when you worship the sun. Moon Day, when you worship the moon, Monday. Thor's Day, when you worship Thor. I mean, they're all named after pagan holidays. The days of the months of the year. January, from Janus, the two-faced god. I mean, where do you stop? Okay, some battles are, I don't have time to fight them all. Okay, and I picked a different battle to fight. I'm not going to fight that one. So December 25th, we get our people Christmas presents, and we, you know, celebrate the birth of Christ, even though we know this is not the birth of Christ. We don't tell people it is the birth of Christ. It's just that we picked a day to celebrate because we don't know what it is. So it's like a kid who's born, is adopted out, he's an orphan, he doesn't know when his birthday is. Okay, well, pick a day and celebrate it every year. I think you probably were born. I think we could settle that issue. And so pick a day and call that your birthday. It's just like if you're saved but you don't remember when. Okay, well, pick a day and call that your spiritual birthday. If you know you've accepted Christ, pick a date and call it that. So December 25th is as good as any. Same thing with Easter, pagan holiday. King James is the only one to get it right, by the way, in Acts chapter 12, verse 4, where it says it's Easter. All the rest of them say Passover. Major mistake. We cover that on video number 7 of my award-winning video series, Creation Science Seminar. $50 for the whole 18 hours, plus my debate against 3 professors. Lady Di, how many comments have we had about that debate, the 3-on-1? I get hundreds of them. That's their favorite one.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, the 3 professors at Embry-Riddle University, 3-on-1. It could be 10-on-1. It's not that I'm smarter, it's that they're defending a stupid position. If I told you to defend in an argument that 2 + 2 is 5, you're not going to win that one, okay? It's not 5, okay? And evolution isn't true, and the Earth is not billions years old. Okay, next question. I heard you say evolutionists have a couple of evidences for an old Earth. If the Earth is young, shouldn't evolutionists have no evidence of an old Earth universe? Okay. Mark, good question. Fair enough. Let's suppose I wanted to see when that van up there was built, okay? So I look at the round rubber tires and realize this is vulcanized rubber. Well, they started making that, you know, 1930s or whenever they started making it. The tires could be from the 1930s, but I know there was probably a lot of things on the van that would indicate an old age, like the laminated windshield, the 350 Chevy 3-bolt or 4-bolt main engine. I don't know when they started building that, but that's a good engine. Freddie, 280,000 miles, still runs like new, doesn't it? It's incredible. Well, there may be some things that would look old on that. But it's like if someone in the movie, Tom Hanks, The Green Mile movie, okay? John Coffey is found sitting there holding 2 dead girls, and he's crying his eyes out. They arrested him, put him in jail, and electrocuted him. They killed him for the crime. He didn't do it. Some of the evidence showed, hey, he's guilty. He's sitting, the girls are missing, they have a manhunt, they find John Coffey with them, they're both dead, he's holding them and he's crying. He must have done it, which was not true. Okay? Sometimes evidence can be misinterpreted. That's just an example of a case where it's misinterpreted. How many people years after their trial and conviction is proven that they're innocent? You know, it gets overturned. Sometimes 100 years later, of course they're dead, but the conviction's overturned. Mine's going to get overturned, by the way. Judgment Day, if nothing else. Hope it gets overturned before that. Go to KentHovinIsInnocent.com. But how did I get off on all that? Oh, the evidence for a young Earth. I don't know when this microphone was built. I have no idea. But I think I could, through a process of elimination, narrow it down to certain parameters based on, for instance, what type of connection does it have at the bottom? Is it, Romex wire? When was that invented? I could look at things like, I don't know, you could study different components and probably get a reasonable guess of, I think I'd be safe to say it's probably not 4,000 years old. Right? I think I could look at the copper wire and say, wow, the copper was around then, so that if I want to analyze that, well, it's got to be 4,000 years old. So when you go to look at the age of the Earth, it would only take one proof that John Coffey was not guilty, and he would have gone free in an honest court of law. It only takes one bit of evidence to prove innocence. Okay, if we find 20 bits of evidence that says Thomas is guilty, here's all the evidence against him, but he's got proof he wasn't even in the state when it happened. Okay, case closed. Go home. You're free. So I think if we find one evidence of a young Earth, that's all you need. But I think there are probably several hundred evidences of a young Earth, including Jesus' testimony. The creation of Adam was the beginning. So I don't know that it'd be fair to say there shouldn't be any evidence of an old Earth. I don't know how you could prove such a thing or how you could refute such a thing. Some things may look old that they're simply not. Anyway, I don't know if I can help you anymore on that one. Second question you had. You said the evidence for evolution is small enough to fit on a pool table. No, Mark. I said, I have heard it said, and I gave the quote on screen in video number 2, that the evidence for human evolution, as far as fossil evidence, the cavemen, would fit on a pool table. That's what somebody said. All the so-called cavemen that's used as evidence for evolution would fit on a pool table. And so I didn't say evidence of a universe. That is what somebody quoted, and I just read the quote. I don't remember. I could look it up. Seminar part 2. Okay. If evolution is false, wouldn't that mean there should be no evidence of evolution? Well, I don't think there is any evidence of evolution, and the evidence fitting on a pool table is cavemen that they use as their evidence. I didn't say it was evidence. That's what they use. I think it can all be easily refuted. So, no, as far as should there be none, I don't think there is any. Show me some. Show me any example of any animal producing a different kind of animal. Last question and we'll quit. Pagan holidays. Oh, another one here. Hello, everyone. I recently started. This is from, whoa, what kind of name is that? XTINAGO. Never mind. Oh, Christina. Okay. Whoa. Okay, hello, everyone. I recently started to educate myself on pagan holidays. I'm having trouble understanding why pagan holidays are celebrated in our churches and continue with pagan traditions. Kind of what we covered already, Christina. It is so infiltrated into our culture. Somebody else can fight that battle. It probably needs to be fought, but I got bigger dragons to slay, okay? Bigger fish to fry. We're going to probably keep calling it Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, regardless of if I made up new names for it, Peter's Day and John's Day and Paul's Day. I don't think anybody would follow my lead, so be real lonely all by myself. So I'm not going to do that. I felt so deceived by my church when I started looking into the real meaning of these holidays. I've now stopped celebrating Xmas, Easter, etc., and told my kids the truth, but they are still in denial because they see churches celebrating, and I know it's going to break their hearts. I don't want to lie to them. Don't lie to them. Tell them the truth. We don't know when Jesus was born, but the pagans celebrate December 25th. Okay, let's give each other presents and sing praise Jesus. I don't see any danger in that, as long as they know the truth. Okay. Now, if it really bothers you and it's a conviction for you, great. But don't try to put that on everybody else. Some people get a conviction that something is wrong and think everybody else better do it their way, or you're not right with God. Well, Acts chapter 15 gives the commandments for the New Testament disciples and what they're required to do. No fornication, abstain from blood, and I think it's meats offered to idols. That was it. Everything else is not required of the Gentile believers. So Acts 15 to me settles it. Should we celebrate on Sabbath day instead of Sunday? Well, first place, nobody knows when the original created seventh day was. It could be on Tuesday. Nobody knows. Secondly, would the Jews do it in 7 hours off from us? I mean, they're 7 hours different, and I think 7 hours in their time scale. How would you do? Is that right? 7? 8. Your daughter's over there. Okay. 8 hours different. Okay. So it was close, though, wasn't it? Not a bad guess for. Okay. So it's just, again, not a battle I care to get involved. If that bothers you, one lady was telling me about, immodest dress, etc. I said to the Muslim women, you're naked right now because your whole face is showing. I mean, whose standards are we going to follow? At what point do you say that's enough? Okay. Anyway, don't lie to them. Tell them the truth, and then go ahead and give each other Christmas presents. And I said that was the last one. We're out of time. We'll cover some more. I don't know when. Try tomorrow night. If you want to come join us at Dinosaur Adventureland, come on down. We've got lots to do around here. If you'd like to help, bring a hammer. No, we got enough hammers, Freddie. 18, you said. Whoa. And Catherine, you're getting the tool bins organized in Thomas? Mm-hmm. I want to go see that right now. It's another thunderstorm coming in. We're out of here. If you have questions, send them in. We may get to them. We may not ever get to them. But most of the stuff is in our seminar, 7-part seminar. Actually, there's 10 DVDs in this one box. One includes my seminar notebook that I did years ago, a bunch of charts and graphs. You can get all 7,000 of my slides, which I constantly update for, what, $100, Lady Di? $100. And it includes all the debates, all the seminar series,
yes, and
all the topical.
Yes. And for another extra $25, they could get the hard copy as well.
And so for $125, you get the hard copy and the thumb drive with all the stuff on there. Yep. How do they write that small to get on that thumb drive? That's amazing. Man, I got one right here. I had one that must have fell off the table somewhere. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. If you're not a Christian, what on earth are you waiting for? I really suspect World War III is coming very soon. I'll be surprised if we make it a couple more years. The guy I debated today quoted me saying back in 2000, I said, I'll be surprised if we make it 5 more years. And said, aha, Kent's a false prophet. No, I didn't say it's ending in 5 years. I said I would be surprised. And guess what? I'm surprised. I'm surprised right now. We're headed for disaster, and you better get right